And this is the Balanced Life Podcast. I'd like to thank you for coming today. Um, I have got a really interesting topic today, at least in my opinion. A lot of people like to do side jobs and side hustles. And for some people, these are just small things like delivering food or delivering groceries or doing small tasks for some extra money. But for people who would like to make this a bit more like a business and who would like to start their own business, I wanted to spend some time today helping you to think through the brainstorming. And if you've already started a business, maybe helping you refine it so you don't get so overwhelmed with all the things that happen. I actually have a sheet to help you with this. If you go over to thebalancedlife.com, that's BALANCED, thebalancedlife.com, and click on the podcast tab, you'll see down the side for today's podcast, it's called Finding Your Niche. And there is a PDF that you can download and jot some notes for yourself. And really take some time to go through this like about every 3 months. Go back over and re-listen to this podcast and go back through this sheet. I'm just going to kind of walk you step by step through kind of focusing what you're doing. Back when I taught this at a class, it was at the Catch the Wave conference, actually 10 years ago this fall. I just found some of my old notes for some of the old conference talks that I gave. And at this point, I had been growing for 5 straight years in my writing business. But then I had got to a point that I found I was getting overwhelmed and doing too many things and doing none of them well. And I wasn't really growing the way I wanted to. So I cut back. In fact, I mentioned this in a recent newsletter. I said that you need to prune in order to really grow. I believe it's the October 2024 newsletter that I talked about this. But cutting back and focusing in on what you're really good at is the key to growing your business. So if you have a business, what area of that business are you really good at and can you really hone in on? One thing I know for like professional writers and people who use content creation beyond just writing, whether you're making a YouTube video or you're writing or you're, doing podcasts or whatever, there's something that you are excellent at that only you can do. And then there's all the other little stuff that can be very distracting. Or you can find yourself talking about so many different things and not really honing in to a specific audience, and you end up not keeping people. So I'm going to take you through the process that I use in order to step away from trying to do everything in every market and focusing instead on my market and what I'm really good at. If you feel overwhelmed by more ideas or tasks than you have time to do, then this is going to really help you focus in. So first of all, what is it that you really love most about what you're doing? Do you love to write the scripts? Do you love to do the design work? Are you a video editor and you simply love doing the video editing? What is it that you really love? And write that down. On the other side, think about think about what your audience really loves to hear or really loves to learn from you or really feels like you contribute. So you may enjoy the video editing production, let me say. Let's say, for example, you like to make videos for YouTube or online or whatever, and you really love the video editing, but because of that, you sometimes do too much, and you end up losing the audience because visually it's overwhelming. What is it that your audience is looking for as well? And where do those intersect? What is it that you keep coming back to? I heard somebody say, gosh, I don't even remember. I think I was probably in my early 20s. What would you do forever even if you were never paid for it? So, excuse me. In the example, they said if your bills were paid, like you could pay your bills and things like that, you had the resources, the finances, whatever, this is a hypothetical, of course, to cover what needed to be paid. What is it that you would do every single day if money were not an object? If you didn't have to earn, if you were going to earn money at anything? And that is really what your passion is. For me, it's teaching people. So I see this podcast as an extension of that. I am trying to teach you the things and the skills to bring balance to your life, to grow your business, to grow your personal relationships, to not make some of the mistakes I made, but also to do some of the things that I did really well in your own life so that you too can see the growth that I have seen. So what do you keep coming back to? What is the topic that you are most interested in? What is the thing you most like doing? And then can you be paid with that? Is there enough interest? Or are you so exceptional at it that even if it's a very small demographic, that you can support yourself? And this is where the tough part comes in. You have to be realistic about it. If what you really love to do and what you would do every day of your life is play baseball, but you will never be good enough to play pro ball or you're too old to do that, then is there anything you can do in that area to support yourself if you are needing it to support yourself? If not, you have to recognize that that is a hobby, not a career, and you need to put it aside and find what you could do in the area you're passionate about that will provide the income if we're talking about a job. Are you, let me say, this is why this is important. We are talking about the balanced life. And a life of balance has to also be honest about your skills and abilities. You can't, if you have children or relationships, particularly children, you can't commit a huge amount of time towards something and not pay attention to your kids. That's one of the mistakes that I truly made when my kids were at home. I wanted to be with my children, but I was trying to develop an area of my business that really I was not uniquely skilled at. There were other things I was good at. There were other things I could do, but I was so interested in developing a certain area of my writing business that I didn't have the skills in nor the time to develop those skills that I actually did not spend the time with my kids that I should have. And I was out of balance for years. And by the time I realized it and tried to change that, I had already taught my kids how to be without me. And they got to an age where they didn't really want to hang out. I missed out on an opportunity that I would never get back. Same thing in a different area. You may not have kids, or you may be an empty nester, or you may be somebody who doesn't have children. So that's not a consideration. But also in your business, if using the baseball example, if you need to acknowledge that you love baseball, but you don't have that unique something that makes you elite, that makes you capable of earning income with it, then you may have to look at something else and realize, although you love this, this is not where you're going to find your growth. Unless you can pull something unique out of there, like, what's that called? There's a comedy team. Share a comment if you know what it is. Is it Tennessee? I don't know. It's someplace, it's the name of some town down south, and they're kind of like the Harlem Globetrotters for baseball. So maybe you could do something that was more funny. maybe you could do something like radio or umpiring or whatever. I'll get off of baseball now. Pete Rose just died yesterday, the day that I'm recording this, and I loved Pete Rose as a kid growing up. So my mind's a little bit on baseball right now. But what is it that you keep coming back to? And can you develop that to bring yourself to a unique area? Now, I wasn't elite when I started my writing business back in 2005. I wasn't the best writer that there was. I wasn't breaking out with great success, but what I did have is a unique perspective on how to use writing to help businesses and also to help writers see the business side of writing. And that's really where Writing Career Coach came out of. I realize this is the Balanced Life podcast, but I developed my writing business, writingcareercoach.com, out of that. So if you are developing a business, maybe you're like me and you're not like the world's best writer. Plenty of my friends passed me and became multi-published in the time that I was still trying to develop my craft. But what I found is I had a unique set of skills that helped people who were trying to write books write them better. And so I developed that. So I wasn't the one whose name was on the cover. I was the one in the background. But I also was able to earn a living doing that. And I really found that I enjoyed it because I was good at it. So as you find the area that you're really good at, you'll find yourself developing that excitement. So what is it in your business that you really love that you can make a profitable business with? Now, I'm developing a course right now for people who are interested in entrepreneurship. It's going to be over at decisiontreelearning.com. I'll also eventually have one over here. I'll share a link on the Balanced Life website once that goes up. But this is one of the key questions you need to think through. We need to take an honest look and an honest assessment of where we are, what our skills are, and how profitable those skills can be. All right. Now here's the last thing. Don't allow constant distractions to pull you from your goal. Don't constantly look for the next shiny thing in the adrenaline rush to keep you motivated. I know that I said you need to evaluate and things like that, but what some people do is they start doing something for just a little bit, and when they don't get the results fast enough, they start something else completely different, and then they start something else completely different. I used to know people in network marketing that would bounce from network marketing group to network marketing group, sales thing to sales thing, because they were really good at sales, but once they hit that initial surge and they had to get maintain and it started to get harder, they would pull back and go, well, let me try the next one. Maybe the next thing is not what's going to be your big breakout. Maybe you just need to push through. So also evaluate, do you have a cycle that you get into where when you hit some resistance, where you hit that wall, that you don't push past it, but instead retreat and start something different? If so, you're never going to quite hit that growth that you're looking for. I know I've thrown an awful lot of ideas at you. Maybe listen to this a couple times. Like I said, go over to the balancedlife.com website, click the podcast tab, and get the sheet here to kind of jot your notes. This is something you want to evaluate regularly. I say quarterly, but if you're just starting out in your business, this might be something you want to look at each week or each month until you really hone down what it is you're trying to do, how you're trying to do it. I would suggest some of the books that I have on my website. There's links there that can take you straight to them. Reading some of these books and really honing in, and sign up for our newsletter if you want to find out when the course goes live. One thing that I'm doing on this, and maybe this will help you with your own business if you do a content type of thing, is I'm doing two things. Let me share with you the rationale real quick, because again, this might be helpful for you as you're developing your products. I find that people either are reluctant to spend money because they don't have it, or they're reluctant to spend money because they're not sure if it's going to be worth it. And so I have two different things to combat that. The people who don't have the money, I have an affiliate program so that they can earn the money to be able to purchase the product. So if they've seen what it is I put out and they think, wow, there really is value to that. I want to learn what she's showing me. I want to go in deeper, but I really can't afford it. My affiliate program helps with the finances of it. The other thing that I do, and again, this might be something that you want to consider if you don't have free content that you're like monetizing through something like YouTube and earning sufficient money there. When I'm in development, I start to put up my courses and I allow people to purchase them in the development stage while I'm still uploading things at a significant discount. That means that they have to have patience, but they also have the opportunity sometimes to share with me specific questions, and I use it as part of the course so that they can get basically private tutoring for free, but they're also paying less for the course because they have to wait for it to go up. As I add more lessons to the course, I increase the price as we're going along. This benefits me because I'm able to have income and revenue and feedback as I'm developing the course so that I know that I'm creating something that is really useful and helpful and meaty for people. And it also helps to pay while I'm in production. It's a smaller amount than when I have the final launch, but I'm able to earn a little bit of revenue rather than waiting months and months while I'm developing the course and then at the end start to sell it. So when you take the very low price that I have at the beginning, and it's not limited to a certain number of people, it's limited to how many lessons I have up. So I take the lower price. I also offer the affiliate fee that's a percentage of the cost. So yes, they earn less at the beginning, but they're also paying less, which makes it possible for more people to sign up, to give feedback, to get the information they need to grow, who then get excited as more and more lessons are included and share that referral fee and the price is going up. So they're starting to earn more. So they actually can use the affiliate program that I have as like a side business to practice the skills I'm teaching them as they develop their other business, whatever that is. And whether it's, selling model airplanes or, consulting work or ghostwriting or whatever they're doing. Maybe that's something that you're able to do as well. I don't know if you're in content creation but how could you adjust that to your own products? Do you have a way that you could offer a lower price and a way for people to essentially earn the product for free for those who don't have the money, who have more time than money? And then the people who have more money than time might want to wait until it's more expensive or might want to buy early and take advantage of the discount. And then when the full course is up there, they listen to it all in one weekend or binge listen. So I hope those ideas have been helpful to you. Finding your niche is really important. Figuring out what you're really good at and how you can distinguish yourself is how you're going to really take your business to the next level. So it's a very important thing. It's worth reviewing multiple times. Please go over and download that sheet and also give yourself some grace because we're all going to fail sometimes. Just try to fail forward. I'll see you next time.